Oh, but it's always the same. Playing with a boy. Playing with a young boy. After sandwiches and sunsets, did a little ploy playing with the boys. Yeah, neato gang. Neat the fucko. Get this out of my fucking face, you cocksucking. I had to stop saying penis words in the first 1 minute of the show, I suppose. But also, who cares? What am I going to do? Turn into Louis J. Gomez and just turn into a total cuck and make everything about monetizing my channel like all these other hack shows? No, I say nay. Money is gay. LA is gay. And the big news of the day is say, hey, let's all go to the Bay. I just may. The big news of the day that is not LA and is not gay. Vince McMahon free of all charges, folks. The biggest sports news you'll hear today. If you're a fine watcher, purveyor of this program, you know my life is basically based off of Vince McMahon, and he is basically, this is up there with the freeing of the slaves for me. Just as important as freeing the slaves is Vinnie Mac being freed of all the charges here, folks. Unbelievable. What a day. January 10th, the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Hieronymus Christ 2025, as it were. Sports Mass Collective, episode 102. So many podcasts have tried and failed, and even if they keep trying, they're mostly failing because they all have turned into gay stuff. But the big news, we'll get to football and we'll get to a couple sports things. We'll get to some bullshit. And if you want anything read, super chatted, I'll go through the poor people chat in a bit. I don't pull back the anal beaded curtain. I don't keep regular chat pulled up on the side here. Just FYI. I look at it intermittently throughout the show. It'll only pop up if it's a super chat. And that's not me asking for anything. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. Although I certainly could use the money. We all could. Just letting you know how it works. I'm not saying you have to super. I'll check the poor people chat. But like I said, if you want anything read, especially anything timely that has to do with what I'm talking about, you're going to super chat it. Even if it's 99 cents, I don't care. I'm not here to drain your money and do 4-hour shows just to suck you all dry of every dollar you're worth, even though I just do the same show for 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, 4 hours a day, and it's basically the same show where I just talk about Ray DeVito and Stuttering John and Shuley and Ray DeVito and Bob Levy and Shuley and Gino and Ray DeVito and Bob Levy. If you want, I could do that show, and I guess I could make $10,000 a month apparently, but I have a backbone. I have pride. I want to do a show that I like, that I enjoy. I do the show for myself. Everything else is collateral damage. 102 episodes. People seem to enjoy it. Ask Husey about the numbers. Hey, why don't you go to Underground Fitness on Hope Street in Stanford and ask the bicep curl machine about the numbers this morning. You want to talk about fucking numbers? Here's your fucking number, you fat fuck. Milton, I'll knock his ass out. Kevin Brennan, I'll knock his ass out. Shuley, knocked out. Ray DeVito, knocked out. Any of these other homos you guys like to talk about? They're all losers. Grown-ass men talking about each other. Embarrassing. The news of the day, that's all besides the point. The news of the day, folks. Vince McMahon freed of the shackles Let's read his statement, shall we? This is the news of the day. The NFL can wait. College football, of course, can wait. It's so bad. Let's see. Here's Vince's statement from this morning. Vince McMahon's Twitter. The case is closed. Should I read it as Vince? I'll give it a whirl. The case is closed. Today ends nearly 3 years of investigation by different government agencies. There's been a great deal of speculation about what exactly the government was investigating and what the outcome would be. As today's resolution shows, much of that speculation was misguided and misleading. In the end, there was never anything more to this than minor accounting errors with regard to some personal payments that I made several years ago while I was CEO of WWE. I'm thrilled that I can now put all of this behind me. Vince McMahon, you're fired. Hey, lady who got her head shit on, you're fired. Hey, other wrestlers who tried to drag Vince's name through the mud, you're fired. So a big day, a very happy day for anyone born in the mid-'80s through the early '90s. Vince McMahon, free at last, free at last. Harriet Tubman is dancing in her grave for Big Vince. The slave, Martin Luther King. I mean, they would all be so proud of Vince today, being free of these charges. And I thought I actually saw Vince this morning. It was a black Bentley with black rims, which he has almost ran me off the road with before. But alas, it was another, some Armenian guy or something. Looked like a guy who says bro a lot. You know? Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Looks like a guy who says bro a lot and gets 3 shape-ups a week. And wears shirts with tribal designs on them. Anywho, I'm right. I'm always right. We got a lot to talk about, but that is for another show. But we had to lead off with the big news, the big sports news of Vince being free. And, of course, I watched the first Raw on Netflix on Monday. And a lot of people are up in arms that it was all promotion. It was all, yeah, no shit. What did you think the first couple of Raws on Netflix would be? I mean, I wasn't surprised. Was anybody surprised? I mean, if you're surprised, you're kind of a dullard, in my opinion. What did you think it was going to be? It would be sucking Netflix's own penis, tip its own legs behind its head 90 degrees, of course, as we say here at Ski Mask Media. And, yeah, so obviously I knew The Rock was going to, I mean, I didn't, know this, read it anywhere. I just knew. I knew The Rock was going to be there. I knew they would have, what the hell's going on out here? There's old people making out. Ugh, don't ever do that. There's, old people making out outside. That's disgusting. Listen, if you're over the age of 50, your days of tongue kissing are over. Sorry, days are behind you. Once you're over the age of 50, maybe I'll even give you 60. No one should be using the tongue over the age of 60 for sure. That was disgusting. It really threw me off. Yeah, obviously the first Netflix is going to be sucking its own cock, promoting its own movies. They had all the people from their movies in the stands. Whatever, who cares? Grow up, move on. LA stinks. I'm glad it's on fire. Finally, a good football game last night, a good college football game, I could say, because every weekend of the NFL is any one weekend of an NFL week has a season's worth of good games compared to college football. But it was a fun game last night, I guess, and I watched the game. I watched the Penn State-Notre Dame game. Again, it's kind of always said about college. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. I just don't find the play of college football interesting. There's no defense. I mean, the running back for Notre Dame, who was that, number 4, of African-American gentleman, great runner, couldn't be stopped. I think he was number 4, 14. I don't give a fuck. But that's just it. It just seems like every offense in college football, every game, the offense kind of just does what it wants because the defensive talent doesn't stack up to the talent on these better teams that are going to be in NFL, while these other position players, this is their Super Bowl. This is as far the train stops at Division I football, and then you have the handful of guys who are going to the NFL, and the difference is obvious when you watch an NFL. I don't know. Like I said, I'm honestly not trying to be hyperbolic or big a thing, but it's just compared to watching an NFL game, college football just kind of stinks. It's just kind of, like I always said, it's like watching a minor league of a pro sport, and it's pretty much what it is. So, Stancil Stradamus, thank you. What else is new? What else is new? But technically, and this is why I say it, mouth breathers will tell you what a great game it was. They went back and forth and blah, 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 27-24. But it was just the game. It wasn't messy plays. I mean, how many design quarterback runs do they do in college? It's just boring to me. Sorry. But shout out Shane Gillis, I guess. His team won. So we got to look at Shane's big, dumb, retarded face now for at least another, well, they're in the championship week from Monday. So they'll either be playing Ohio State or Texas. We'll find out this evening. That is the extent of my college football preview as far as Ohio State and Texas goes. I'm merely saying the name because who cares? I can tell you this, Ohio State's going to win. Stancil Stradamus, take that to the bank. But that's easy. One last note on college football before we move on to, actually I got a couple other things before we get to the NFL. But last thing on the game last night, this Penn State coach, I just saw it this morning, James Franklin, the Penn State coach, is 1-18. He's 1-18 versus top 10 college teams, top 10 AP poll, whatever gay shit they call it. How does this guy, and again, I'm an armchair college viewer, obviously. I don't give a fuck about college, really. But how does this guy have a job at Penn State University? 1-18 versus top 10 AP opponents. 1-15 at his job at Penn State. And I say that because, it's not like he, coached at a shitty school and was just getting rolled. He's 1-15 versus top 10 teams as a Penn State coach, 1-18 overall. I don't know. How is this guy possible? Well, obviously, I would expect him not to be employed. I mean, if Penn State brings him back, pick your adjective you want to call him. I will choose retarded, since Shane Gillis is a fan of Notre Dame. But that stuck out at me. How do these guys keep these jobs? I guess it's all about schmoozing. Anyway, quick aside, just to get it on the books for Tina Turner. Pete Alonso, this was interesting. You almost never see this. It came out, and this is a real report. Pete Alonso's camp offered the Mets a 3-year deal with opt-outs. Mets, listen, and I love the Cohens. They've done a lot right. He's almost done everything right besides his ethnicity, of course, but we won't hold that against him. Wink. Well, I'll tell you what he did do right. Sophia Cohen. Oh, give a goog while I'm talking to Sophia Cohen. Talk about a Jap, a Jewish American princess, quintessential Jap, billionaire, richest man in the world, father, and a beautiful, beautiful little girl. But just signed Pete Alonso, and I know Mr. Cohen watches this show, as they all do. The buck stops here, and all. Stephen A. watches. I get messages from him. I mean, the numbers and the messages I get after these shows, you wouldn't believe. And they all ask me to not mention, I throw a couple of these out there, but unbelievable the people that watch this show. Obviously, numbers have been huge. Not the live numbers, because I never announce when I'm starting, because I never know when I'm starting. Because hashtag real job, hashtag real life. But amazing to see the weekly numbers continue to be just amazing. Shout out to all of you for that. And there's a reason for that. Second Celsius of the day. Just sign Pete Alonso, Mr. Cullen. Please and thank you. And I think he will. I think they're holding out. They know Pete wants to play in New York. But just be careful. I don't want to play this game so much where Pete goes and signs somewhere else. We got Soto. I mean, listen, Pete Alonso loves playing here. He vindicated himself last postseason in a big way. I was on the fence about him. If you watched the show, you could have watched it all summer. You can go back and watch it. I was on the fence many of the season. I was telling you to get rid of Pete. Let him go. Trade him for something, a bag of balls. I'm man enough. I stand corrected. He proved himself in the playoffs finally. And, now he doesn't have to be the main guy. There's going to be even less pressure on him going into next year with Soto, Lindor. I'm not going to go through the whole lineup. You get it. With a great lineup around him. So I'm hoping the Mets sign him soon because we got to get him in that lineup. No reason not to. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Just like the Jets have to go for it. We'll get to them a very quick passing thing on the Jets, and then we'll never speak of them again until September. Last topic here before we get to the NFL. The last big NFL weekend, by the way, folks. I told you week one, as I've done every year of this program, going on, 3 or 4 years of this fine program, the greatest sports entertainment program in all the land. And again, shout out Vince. The quickest season in sports. And here we are. This is your last great football weekend of the year, folks. The last the last Monday night game you're going to have. You'll have Saturday and Sunday, I believe, the next couple of weeks. But this is the big one. 3 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday. 2 games Saturday? 2 games Saturday. 3 games Sunday and a game Monday. We'll get to what to do to your family, of course, later on. You know what, you loyal viewers know where I'm going with that. But one last thing before we get to that. The TGL, folks. Have you seen this? Have you seen it? Did you see it on Tuesday? The TGL. Such a mess that I already forgot what TGL stands for. What the hell does it stand for? What the hell does TGL stand for? Everything just says is a new golf league. Jesus Christ. Again, how is this so hard? How is it not the first thing? TGL or Tell me about, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. Tell me about what this stands for. Why is it so hard? Holy shit. Tomorrow's golf league. Jesus Christ, Google. I know you're run by you-know-who's, but get it to fucking together. Oh, God, it's sickening. Tomorrow's golf league. If you missed this last week, I think was it Monday night or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday night. They had the premiere of tomorrow's golf league. So this is a golf league and owned by Tiger Woods and Rory put this thing together. It started Tuesday. Apparently it's going to be every Tuesday, which I'm not totally mad about. Tuesday, obviously, generally a dead sports night until you get to the NHL and NBA playoffs, basically. Very dead sports night for a few months here. So smart of them scheduling-wise. It is a golf league. They have 3-on-3 matchups played on a golf simulator, indoors at a golf simulator. And then around the green, they actually play it out. There's a bunker and a green and a rough that they actually chip and putt on. Boy, what a mess. I guess I'll start with that. What a mess. This seems like a video game kid's fever dream. This was the first week, and the people in the stands didn't, after the first couple swings, the people in the stands didn't even care about it. And they got big names. I mean, you got Xander Schauffele out there, Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler was playing on Tuesday. Spieth plays with these guys. So they got big name. The TGL has big name. I know Scheffler declined. Who was the other big name that actually declined playing in this thing? Hovland, Victor Hovland, too, declined to play in this. So they have these teams of 3. This week was the Hudson Golf Club versus the something club, these teams. And they basically just play virtual golf for us on TV. Exactly. That's it. My silence played a role there. That's it. There is no real... There's this one thing where you could throw a hammer flag, and that means if you win the hole, it's worth 2 points. But it's basically just match play, 3-on-3 match play on a simulator. Right. That's it. Tiger Woods' money's behind it. Rory's money's behind it. So I assume they're going to play out this string of this season. And listen, I'll watch it. Again, like I said, on a Tuesday night, there's nothing on. I assume, I didn't even look. I believe you can bet on it. So you could, something to bet on, something to watch. And again, these are, surprisingly, I thought it was going to be the lower bottom half of the PGA roster. But, I mean, they have big names playing. I think Tiger Woods is actually playing in this next Tuesday. So it's interesting enough. I will tune in. You know, I'm a former golfer myself, and it's something different, I guess. But as a product, take the names out of it. You know, take the big names out of who you're watching play a simulator. They're gonna have to figure something out. I can't foresee. You know, like I said, people who play golf and are interested in their sports retards like myself are going to tune in since there's nothing else on, but there is no shot the average person flipping through channels keeps this on. I think the problem with this week, and maybe they'll change it week 2, is it was you got to go all the way or make it serious. And my thing is they allow talking, same as you would in a simulator. You could hear the crowd talking. You know, you could yell while people are swinging. But they didn't really promote that. They kind of still were taking it serious. And it just felt like it felt like not figured out at all. I would love to see them either push it all the way, make it a party atmosphere. And I'm not even kidding. Throw some weird obstacles. There's some bullshit in it. You gotta go around 3 times on a wiffle ball bat before putting. And again, I'm not kidding. I'm saying maybe not that exactly, but to that level of making it interesting to have pro players, doing silly shit that you might do with your buddies on the back nine. Between keeping it, having 3 guys, all-time pros, taking serious shots on a simulator while the crowd half cares. So I guess After week 1, I'll give it another chance. I'll see what's going on. But just an interesting thing, and I did not see this coming with everything going on with the playoffs and the Mets hot stove and whatnot. This wasn't even on my radar till it popped up on Tuesday. So I'm passing that along to put on your radar because I wanted to like it. It honestly was slightly embarrassing. So hopefully they learn from their first broadcast. But so put it on your radar for Tuesday when you have the post-football scaries after a big weekend coming up, college and NFL. Flick that on Tuesday and let me know on Twitter or the next show what you thought. All right. Into the football, a quick aside here. The Jets, and I said it last week, and I've been saying it for a few weeks, who I wanted as head coach again, Mr. Rex Ryan. And the Jets interviewed him Wednesday in classic Rex fashion. He says he wants to be the Jets' next head coach, and he expects to be. But here's the thing. Yes, Rex is a loudmouth, but you know you're getting that with him. He's not unpredictable. He's predictable in that his mouth is unpredictable, if you will. And I mean that seriously. You know what you're going to get with him. You know he's going to talk. You know he's going to be hyperbolic. But you also know he's going to call out players in private and public. He's going to get pissed off if his team underperforms, where he had Robert Saleh hugging the guys and, it's okay. Oh, it's okay, Garrett Wilson. It's okay, Sauce Gardner. It's okay, Breece Hall. It's okay you had a shitty game. It's fine. We're only in the NFL making millions of dollars. No, Rex is going to call out his players for better or worse because I honestly believe Rex just wants to win. It's same as Trump in a weird way, and same as many people. Narcissism can be a bad thing, but narcissism can always also work in your favor. Yeah, because Rex, like Trump, I believe Trump wants to be the best U.S. president in history. Now, he wants to do that out of narcissism because he loves himself, but that benefits us. And same as somebody like Rex Ryan. He wants to be the best because he's a narcissist. He loves himself. But that benefits the Jets and their fans. Get what I'm saying? So I have no problem with Rex coming in. If they don't hire him, I would love to see him as, honestly, best case scenario, which I don't think he would take, would be a defensive coordinator with a more polished, maybe like a Pete Carroll at head coach with Rex Ryan, although saying that out loud, I could see the fight week 1. But many people throwing Pete Carroll out there. He's 94,000 years old. And he had his bad blood his first go-around with the Jets. But anywho, I'm all for Rex. I think the Jets need to go all in. Rodgers still hasn't confirmed or denied if that was his last game. As that game got closer, even from when we did the show last week till the Jets game, it sounded more and more like that was his last game. So we shall see. That's for another fucking week, you fucking pieces of shit. Anyhow. What's going on? I'll check. You know what? Since I have ADHD, let's see if I'll check the poor people chat. Since I never announce when I'm doing these shows, because hashtag real job, hashtag real life. Huck Karinsky, I hope he's Polish. Jak się masz, Polski ziemie. Stancil against the world. That's right. I'm always right. I was so right about Luis J. Gomez cucking out, wasn't I? Now you're all finding out when I called it months ago. But that's for another show, Ski Mask Collective, probably tomorrow. Don't hold me to that. Again, hashtag real jobs, hashtag real lives. But Ski Mask Collective most likely will be live tomorrow, where we'll cover all of the podcast world and that business. And I have a lot of other things to say, especially about elderly people, especially about LA. But this is a sports show, folks. This is a sports entertainment show. Da 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 Nandalorian, aka Julio. Stansel's Vince impersonation was just him with a cold. Yeah. Well, I do have a cold. So what? Anyway. Tell us about your sex life. You're gay. Save that for tomorrow's show. This is a sports show. But I'm going to go watch the past episodes. I'm an open book. Ask a specific question, and I'll tell a specific answer. Frogger. Froggy the Egg. Oh, by the way, this is semi-sports related, as she was a occasional co-host of the show. Actually, you know what? Let's just give her a jingle. Let's give old Kelly P a jingle. Everybody's asking me how she's doing. I'll let her update you live on the air. Because she also has a Froggy the Egg, the name reminded me. She better pick up. Maybe she's dead. This fucking bitch. Kelly P is me. Anyway, well, I talked to her yesterday. Her head is not falling off. Her head is still on her body. I'm not going to give any of her personal stuff away, but she had to do some kind of cognitive test, and like an eye test, and she told me the last three. This is a true story. This is why I wanted her to tell you herself. Maybe she'll call back before the show is over. She told me the last three things she had to read on the board was leg, egg, and bagel. Classic. Can't make it up. The universe provides, folks. But Kelly P is fine. She's alive. I spoke to her a few times, mostly making sure her ass was okay, her big high knee was okay. But no, she's doing fine. She's old. So when you get old, shit happens. She's in her late 50s or something. No, she's not. But we all wish Kelly well. I know some of you have messaged me privately, and that's very nice of you. But Kelly's alive. Beautiful Charlotte, her dog nurse, is taking care of her. Just friends taking care of her. But long story short, Kelly is alive, and she's still cucking out for Philly Comics. So be sure to go on Twitter right now and at her and ask her why she's still promoting Philly Austin sellouts when Jim Stansel is still out here doing the Lord's work, and she can't promote anything I do. Tommy is a member, so I'll allow it, even though he didn't super chat it. Good afternoon. That is not Tommy Seven Names. That is other Tommy. Talk about Bills Mafia. We'll get to the fucking Bills in a second. We'll get to the real sports of sports du jour. Tommy from California. That's right. That's who he'll be. Julio says the best part of the show so far, a solid 2 minutes spent on what TGL stands for. Amazing content. Yeah, this is what happens. This is a real show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Julio. Hold on. Let me pull up somebody else's stream. Let me stream snipe somebody else. Let's watch somebody else's show for my show. You know what? Let's not do that. Let me pull up a clip, and then let me play a 3-minute clip while I eat my lunch. You want to do that? You know what? Stuttering John exists. Let me talk about Stuttering John, who won, by the way, who's beaten all these shows because he now has 5 shows, 6, whatever fucking shows that are all obsessed with them. Stuttering John won, repeat, Stuttering John won, and I don't even like that fucking. They're all losers. He's a king of the losers, so what does that make you if you talk about him? Rack me. Was that what you want me to do? Julio, what do you want me to do? Let's do hack topics. Oh, did you see? What do you think about the fires in L.A.? Oh, do you think the drones are aliens? Do you think it? Shut the fuck up! All these shows stink. Me looking up what the TGL stands for is more entertaining. 2 minutes of me looking up what TGL stands for. I will argue, and I will be right because I'm Stanzos Ramos, is more entertaining and more deep content than you'll get in 6 days of 3-hour shows with a current version of MLC, which is turned to shit. And everybody I talk to in the real world agrees. Rack me. Thanks for reminding me what a great portion of the show that was, Julio. It was great. No, Tommy, Tommy from California, don't get involved in this. The only Atlantic City, we'll talk about it on Ski Mask Collective. Tune in to the next Ski Mask Collective. I'm not wasting time on sports mats talking about this. I have a lot to say. The main thing is Atlantic City is a shithole, and it's not worth going to. Period. Stop. Certainly not to hang out with fucking. The last time it was worth it was last time we did it when it was hybrid comedians of the compound, and Kevin Brennan ate a hamburger in our hotel room, and ever since then, everything's been gay. We were there when it was great. Anyway, no chance. I don't want to go to AC. If Vince McMahon was down there with Michael Jordan, and they said, come down and we'll suck your cock, and then we'll go to dinner and sleep together, I probably still wouldn't go to AC. Absolute nightmare to drive to from anywhere in the tri-state. I'm in the tip of Connecticut. It takes 3 hours from here. The city, the strip itself is total shit. And the kicker, there's no chance I hang out with all these freaks and losers. Again, Kevin doesn't leave his house in New York City. Just do an event in New York City. Easier for everyone. Atlantic City fucking blows. Absolutely won't go there. Honestly, people don't deserve me there. That's the truth. I am now, sadly, in a wild turn of events over the last couple of years, I am actually above the people who Kevin has on his show now. It's pretty sad. Jason from CT. I didn't even see this because I was busy reading these poor pieces of shit, dumb fucking messages. My lax bro, my lax brethren, also my fellow Connecticut resident, lax for life. Absolutely, bro. We throw up the L for lax, and then there's the A right there, and then, of course, the X. That's lax. Lax life. The ultimate athlete's game. Jason knows. If you can play lacrosse, you can play any other sport. It doesn't work the other way around. You have to have so many levels of coordination and fitness to play lacrosse. That's why I always say, if you can play lacrosse, you can play any other thing. If you can play basketball, it doesn't mean you can play lacrosse. If you can play football, it doesn't mean you can play lacrosse. If you can play hockey, it doesn't mean you can play lacrosse. If you could play whatever other gay sports are out there, you got to be a total athlete to play lacrosse at any kind of level. And Jason is a fellow athlete, obviously. All right. All right, done with the poor people. I'm tuning out the poors. I'll check you in with the poor people again before I end the show. In the meantime, if you want to follow the lead of a legendary lax bro, Connecticut laxer, Jason from CT, feel free to super chat and I'll read it. But let's get to the matters at hand. It's NFL Wildcard Weekend 2025. We made it. I'll be 40 this year. I'll be 40 in December. 85 to 2025, folks. Hello. Maybe I don't make it. It is the week. It is the last week that you have full days of games. This is it. I told you just in September that it's going to go quick, and here we are. How quick did it go? The quickest season in all of pro sports, the NFL. We are here. The last big weekend of the NFL. Kick your wife squarely in the sternum while she's standing atop the stairs. Send your children to your in-laws or perhaps a foster home even. Whatever it takes to get them out of the house till Tuesday. And, of course, send your parents. They're aging. They're boomers. They're holding on to property far too long, driving up the price. Send your parents to hospice today. Today. We have games tomorrow. Get on the horn right now. It's almost 3 o'clock. You can get them in there. You'll get them in their hospice room by tonight. You got to have tomorrow free. You certainly got to have Sunday free, and you want to make sure your Monday night is free. So get rid of all family, friends, and acquaintances, whatever you have to do, whatever bridges you have to burn. It is the last big weekend of the NFL, folks. And then it starts dwindling down each week. We have a decent weekend next week. I think it's Saturday, Sunday. And then we have the conference championships, and that's it. And then it's Super Bowl time. Oh, no, so this is wild card. Next week is division. Then it's conference championship. Then the week off, and then your Super Bowl. So this weekend really is the last real weekend, at least, you know, how we've had it all season. And then it gets lighter and lighter for the next few weeks. So all of a sudden we're in the Super Bowl, folks. So enjoy it is the moral of that story. But to enjoy it, sometimes you got to, what's the saying? You got to burn a few apples to make. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. And by break a few eggs, I mean Chris Benoit, your family. And the big thing, folks, if you're going to get rid of all of your family and friends, you got to make sure the evidence isn't found until Tuesday. Please. You don't want to do this to be free to watch the games tomorrow and Sunday, and then all of a sudden you got a cop knocking at your door on Sunday morning. Do a good enough job of hiding their corpses and lying that you won't be questioned till Tuesday. You just need this weekend free. Please, Father Fenzarelli, our old friend, Father Paul Fenz, please bless us and bless my viewers. We want them to be free to watch the NFL all weekend, and let's pray that whatever they do to their family to be free, that their corpses and body parts aren't found until Tuesday. That is my wish to you. You're all welcome for that. You can thank me off air. For those watching later, you're welcome in advance. And you're welcome. And you're welcome. And you're welcome. Again, I've started a cult. My beautiful Stanselites out there, you people get it. We need to go out in the world and spread the good word. Anyway, where was I? Ooh, hot news over the wire. I can't say too much. Somebody I know, one of the lady callers, works on the hair of a Linda McMahon, and she was in today, and the word, word coming over the wire, Linda is not in a good mood today. Shout out Big Vince, hashtag free Vince, hashtag no chance. We stand with you, Vince. Me, MLK, Abraham Lincoln, all of the great emancipators of history all stand behind Vince in his fight for freedom. We thank you. And I stand with Vince McMahon. Free Vince. Thank you, Jason, for having the balls to super chat. Only going to get that exclusive here. You know, all these other clowns just read shit on Reddit and tell you I have actually real people in the real world reporting back to me about real things. I have so many things that this dabble fags would clamor to know that I just keep locked up in here. Many things I never use, but many things I will divulge down the road when the time is right. Let's just say I know everything that goes on. Stanzostradamus, you're in the right place. That's besides the fucking point. This is a sports show. Yes! Sports, 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 sport. Yay! Playing with a boy. Come on, folks. Get a boy to play with this weekend. Speaking of boys, Penn State lost last night. Ha, 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 ha. Let me just sip my Celsius, and then we'll look at the matchups for the NFL. That's brisk, baby. Remember those commercials? Hold on, I need more. Hold on. Playing with a boy. Da, 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 da. Playing with a boy. Ha ha. All right. We're going to go around these games. We're not going to do the picks right now. We're actually going to go through the matchups, and then we'll talk about these games as a real person, as the Nostradamus of national pastime, the Aristotle of athletics, and the Socrates of sport. Myself, Jim Stanzel. I will go through these matchups, give my quick opinions, some things people may want to look out for, and then, of course, as always, we'll go through with the spreads and the over-unders for the wild card weekend. We'll go in chronological order here. Tomorrow afternoon, we have the Chargers at the Texans. I think the Chargers roll here. The Texans have been hot and cold all year. C.J. Stroud was having an amazing run the first half to the middle, Celsius, of the season there. And they've been hot and cold since. Obviously a dangerous offensive team. I think the Chargers came into form at the right time, and I think the biggest thing working for the Chargers, besides that beautiful boy, Justin Herbert, and Manny Pacquiao, whatever the fuck his name, Nakua, and besides that is Harbaugh at the helm. Jim Harbaugh, right? John is Ravens. Jim Harbaugh at the helm, I think, is going to be the biggest thing. Herbert, it may sound weird, is pretty much a veteran now. Stroud in his second year. I think the Chargers win this one. And I don't foresee it being particularly close. I think the Chargers are on a bit of a different level as the Texans. So we shall see. Again, the NFL, with the NFL in any week, any team can win truly. You know, in the college, North Missouri Appalachian Tech University is never going to beat, Michigan, right? But in the NFL, any team can win, especially when you get to the playoffs. So I will not be surprised. Whoever I pick in these, folks, and this is not a cop-out, this is just the truth. This is why the NFL is the cream of the crop. Whoever I pick, I will not be surprised if the other team wins. That's the beauty of the NFL. Me personally, I think the Chargers take care of the Texans. I don't think there's much meat on the bone there, but that will set up a great matchup next week at Kansas City if the Chargers win that game. All right. The night game tomorrow is a sexy one, folks. Very sexy. Big sexy, like Paulie C., who hosts karaoke at Casey's on Sunday night, some might say. The Steelers at the Ravens. AFC North battle again for a third time these guys face off this year. Zay Flowers is out. But listen, I think it comes down to this. The Steelers are, it could be as simple as the Steelers are going into this game with 4 straight losses, which is rough. I don't see the Steelers are winning this game. I think the Steelers, after their start, have been playing with house money anyway. Tomlin has nothing to prove here. Lamar Jackson has everything to prove in these playoffs this year. It's the only knock he hears from everyone. And listen, I love Lamar Jackson. He's one of my favorite NFL quarterbacks, if not my favorite NFL quarterback, but he is 100% low IQ off the field. So I don't even know if he knows how to read newspapers or can understand words or care what people say about him, but the knock on him has been his playoff performance. If the Ravens were to lose this game to the Steelers, I mean, that is going to reach a fever pitch for Lamar. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Steelers, like I said, have been on house money for a bit here. They've proven what they needed to prove. Tomlin proved he can coach any team. Now, a couple things to look out for here. As I say, again, I won't, in any of these games, even this game, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the Steelers do win. But especially with this, the AFC North, these division matchups in the playoffs, they're always going to be tighter than you think. I know it's hack to say, but these teams know each other. This is their 3rd time playing each other this year. And on top of it, the AFC North, of all the division matchups, these traditionally are going to be your lower scoring tight game. So I think I'm pretty confident the Ravens win this one. Borderline, you can never be positive with the NFL, but as close as I'm going to be to positive with this one. That doesn't mean it won't be a tight game, though. Doesn't mean it won't be a touchdown game or even a field goal game. And bang that under, folks. We'll get to that when we do the picks with the spread in a minute. All right, we got the Broncos at Bills midday on Sunday to start your Sunday. I've been surprised how many people have actually been more on the Broncos bandwagon as much as they are. I guess it's short-term memory. As in you're going off. I know they had the big win against the Chiefs when the Chiefs were playing guys they found at the hot dog stand in the game last week. And I guess it's your last great performance is what people think of. But I think and I would actually love, my feelings on the Bills Mafia, the mouth breathing, they stink of vinegar and sulfur. They're what they do for fun is throw each other through tables and cover themselves in condiments. Just a shithole people in a shithole part of the United States of America there in northern New York and Buffalo, who push little girls with cancer down stadium steps. Literally the lowest class fan base in the NFL. They cemented it this year, that Bills Mafia up there. I would love, and Jets divisional foe, I would love to see the Broncos upset the Bills. I do not see that happening as much as I would love to see it. Who knows? The only chance I see, I think the Bills start early and don't stop. I think the only chance Denver has is to weather the initial Bills push, which they'll get at home. Very tough place to play. Obviously, Denver's at altitude in weather, so I'm not even talking about the weather. I'm talking about the loud Mongoloids, Bills Mafia. Very loud, harsh place to play. Close quarters there at whatever the fuck that stadium's called. I used to know. So yes, the only chance I think the Broncos have is they need to. If the Broncos can get to the second quarter, God forbid winning, but down 3-0, down 7-3, something like that. If they can get the second quarter, or God forbid halftime, in a close game, I think then you got something interesting going on. I foresee the Bills getting out early and running away with this one. Rookie quarterback on the road, first playoff game. Credit to Sean Payton for making lemonade out of lemons this year, and after the terrible job he did last year with Russell Wilson. Similar to the Steelers, another team who I think has achieved their laurels for the year, and they can leave the playoffs in the first round and still hang their hat on a good season. Rack me. All righty. Now, here's a good one. Now, from here on, these games get interesting. Packers-Eagles tomorrow at 4:30, folks. Big matchup here. A lot of people are calling this a toss-up. I won't go that far. But I love this matchup, no pun intended, with Jordan Love. I don't think Jordan Love is ready to win. I know he has, but I don't think going against a 2 seed as they are on the road, first game of the playoffs. Talk about mongoloids. The Philly mongoloids will be out in force, pissing on children, vomiting on children, eating cow shit, horse shit, all the various things that the Philly trash is wont to do. But this will be a hell of a game, I think. Packers are a live underdog, absolutely here, meaning they are an active underdog. Don't be surprised at all. I won't be surprised at all if the Packers win this outright. I personally think, as I'm sure most of you do, too much talent on Philly to lose this first round, especially with Saquon alone. Now, Jalen Hurts is technically in the concussion protocol. If he takes a big hit early on, that changes everything. So keep an eye out for that. That's something to look at as this game goes on, because he is technically in the concussion protocol. He's going to start, but a big hit, and we have a much, much different game, a much different story there in Philly. I think that covers that. We don't want to be hacks and make shit up. Vikings at Rams. Oh, sorry, missed a game. Redskins at Bucks, your Sunday night game. If you've been paying attention, you know where I'm going with this. Who would have thought a Vikings 12-win team, 13-win team? 13-win team, right? Who gives a fuck? I don't have a producer. On the road at Tampa Bay. Oh, no, why am I saying Vikings? Sorry, I'm getting my games. Listen, this is a sports entertainment show. Everybody shut the fuck up. There's no producers sitting over here. There's no fucking guy in a box on here telling me what to do. The Redskins, the Washington Redskins, who some people still call the Commanders. I refuse to out of respect for the natives. Love this game. I think this is going to be the last team to have the ball wins this game. This is going to be all offense on your Sunday night. Slam the over here. And if you've been paying attention to this show, which I've been right, I've been saying probably since the last quarter of this season, if not halfway through the season, I told you on this show, I really like the way the Bucs are playing, and they've carried it into the postseason. I think they are a very dangerous team. I think if they get out of this game, I'm not kidding, I think they are actually Super Bowl contenders. I will put the Bucs. I like the Bucs. I'm sorry. I like the Bucs over the Lions as Super Bowl contenders if they can get out of this game, obviously. This is their big game for the Bucs. And they are going to be juiced up. While they're at home, they know they're the underdog hosting this team, this juggernaut, by record team at home. I think this is I keep fucking talking about the Vikings. It's the goddamn Redskins. Jaden Daniels' first playoff game. Now, both of these secondaries are beat up. This is going to be all offense. Last team to have the ball wins here. I think the Bucs put up a lot of points here. I think the Bucs win. We'll get to the spreads and bullshit in a second. And then Monday night, playing there in Arizona now because of the arson set all of those fires in L.A., and their governor has done nothing over the last decade to prepare for anything of this sort. That's for another time, another day. But I will say I have less than zero remorse or sadness for the people in LA. They have no idea. They're so when was the last time the people in LA had to live paycheck to paycheck? When was the last time the people who live in the Palisades neighborhood of LA ever had to worry about where their next paycheck is coming from? See, all these actors and these fucking cucks. This is the home I built. We're doing whatever. This is the home I built. Bitch, when was the last time you lived in an apartment that was overpriced and had to worry about paying rent? When was the last time you had to actually look at your grocery bill? Please spare me. I feel bad for the animals. That's who I feel bad for, because they have no control over anything. We're the ones that plowed over their living space and cemented over all of Northern California. That's what happens. It's not climate change. It's unnatural civil engineering. Bound to happen to California. Look at the topography of California. There's not supposed to be houses and cities where there are houses and cities. Very simple. And I'm a nature guy, but this is not a global warming thing. This is an inevitability of civil engineering and everything of the like. This is why you can't just plow over nature and essentially put cement down and expect nothing to happen. It's not going to happen in the first year. It's not going to happen in the first 50 years. It's going to happen eventually, though. It'll catch up to you. Nature always wins, folks. Anyhow, the Monday night game, folks. You got the Vikings at the Rams. Sexy as hell. I think the Sunday night game will be a tight one. And I think the Vikings and the Rams will be a tight one. Just like the tight one that old Sandusky was getting into over there at Penn State. Oh, tight, boys. And he was... Sandusky just clapping them cheeks in that shower. Woo! That's what it's going to be. Tight, tight, tight. Like a boy, like a frog's ass. My old friend Dre used to say. Tight like a frog ass. Shout out the Fort Greene Projects. Vikings at the Rams. This is where I keep getting confused. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm going to make this quick because I talked about it all year. You Stanselites shouldn't be surprised. Rams win. Two words, Sean McVay. Two other words, Sam Darnold. Rams win. Get it? I watched Sam Darnold play for the Jets for years. Nice guy. Not a good quarterback. A fine quarterback, an okay quarterback, a great game manager, but not a great quarterback. He has the spoils of riches in Minnesota, and the buck stops here. Rams have come into full form with their receivers. What's his name? McConkey. I think I said Nakwa when I was talking about the Chargers before. That's a different. He's on. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. West Coast is gay. The moral of the story is Vikings have been overrated all year. The buck stops in L.A., which technically stops in Arizona, I guess. I like the Rams Monday night. I think this is another high-scoring game. I think the Rams and McVay have a game plan for the Vikings, and I think the Vikings come back to earth after the loss to the Lions, and I believe they're going to lose to the Rams on Monday night. Now, That was just my expert analysis. Now it's time. Hold on. Let me just update you one last. Well, not last time. We'll continue to do this. Please stop texting me. Please stop texting me. I'm trying to do a professional sports program, and I'm doing it better than most. TGL. Fuck. I already forgot what it stands for. Yeah. My final record for the 2024 NFL season. My picks without the spread, folks. Listen to these numbers. Husey, listen up. 152 and 95. 152 and 95, folks. That's 57 games over 500 for a 74.8 win percentage. Stancil Stradamus. That's why you watch this fucking show. So, you know you're in the right place. Now, as I was saying, as we do every week, it's time for our picks. Where's the fucking music? I don't do my picks without the music. I will not do my picks. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, let's turn it up a bit, shall we? Yeah! Yes! It's time for the picks! Wildcard weekend picks with the spread 2025! My family's dead. I gotta watch football. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media, by the way. Look at it as a once a month super chat. The Patreon's been popping right off. We've been doing at least 2 releases a week for the last month or so. Get over there now. Forget about a super chat. Or, of course, you can Venmo my account at DaveD23. He handles my money because I can't be trusted. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. I'm just pulling up the spreads here. I'm buying time. All right, here we go. We'll do the spreads and we'll do the over-unders as we always do for the playoffs. We always do the over-unders as well. All righty, folks. Tomorrow, 4:30. We talked about all these games, so we're going to get right to it. Chargers at the Texans. Texans getting 2.5 at home. As you might have guessed, not nearly enough. Give me the Chargers minus the 2.5. The over-under here is 42.5. Give me the over there. Chargers minus 2.5, over 42.5. The Steelers at the Ravens. Ravens are minus 8.5 at home. The over-under here is 43.5. Well, we already know we're going to slam that under. AFC North game, let's slam that under 43.5. And I'm actually, again, Ravens win, Steelers cover. Give me the Steelers plus the 8.5. I told you, I think it'll be a touchdown, maybe a field goal. These games are tighter than you think. And the Ravens get to this game. They're big. Folks, the Ravens win this game. The matchup next week is your game of the year so far. The Ravens would go off to Buffalo. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Bills, Ravens. You gotta love looking forward to that. If the Ravens do indeed win this game, which we expect they will, but I don't think they'll cover. Give me the Steelers plus the 8.5, and let's bang that under 43.5. All right, Sunday, 1 o'clock. We got the Broncos at the Bills. Over under here is 47.5. The spread here is minus 8.5 as well for the Bills. You know, as I said, I would love to see Denver win this game and shut up all those Mongoloids in northern New York. I don't think they will, and I do think the Bills take care of business and cover. I'm taking the Bills minus the 8.5 here. The over-under is a toughie because it's going to be cold. It is cold up here in the Northeast and will be tomorrow. 47.5 scares me. I see the Bills getting to 30. I could see the Broncos, getting to 10. I'll take the over. I'll take the over 47.5. Bills minus 8.5, over 47.5 there. Packers at the Eagles. Eagles minus 5.5 at home. Over under here is 45.5. I'm taking the Eagles minus the 5.5. I think the Eagles take care of business here. They are on a mission for that Super Bowl. So give me the Eagles minus 5.5, and I'm taking the under here. Under 45.5. Teams are tighter. Regular season game, I would love the over. Teams are always tighter and played a little closer to the vest in the playoffs. Give me the under the 45.5 there in Philly. Sunday night. Commanders, Redskins at the Tampa Bay Bucks. Bucks minus 3 at home. Over under here is 50.5. Bang that over right off the bat. You're going to bang that over right over the head with a baseball bat. Over this, under that, hit me in the head with a baseball bat. I'm taking the over the 50.5 there at Tampa Bay. This is going to be a shootout, folks. That said, I've frankly been surprised how many people are taking Jaden Daniels in the Redskins. I like Jaden Daniels, but if you've watched Tampa Bay play, I don't know how you can pick against Tampa Bay. Both secondaries beat up, and Baker Mayfield has absolutely been slanging that old piggy wiggly. Give me the Tampa Bay minus the 3, and I think that might be fairly easy. And then Monday night, folks, Vikings at the Rams. Rams are getting 2.5 at quote-unquote home there in Arizona. The over-under is 47.5. We're going to take the over there. These are two high-scoring teams, high-powered offenses, and they'll be playing in a dome, essentially. Well, they are playing in a dome in Arizona. I think it's a retractable roof. Doesn't fucking matter. If you listen to what I said before, you should know the rest. I picked the Rams straight up. I'm certainly going to take them with the 2.5 points. Give me the Rams plus 2.5 at home. All those Vikings wins are for nothing. They won a lot of those by the skin of their teeth. Sam Darnold has overachieved. The NFC overall has sucked. Those are your picks. Pound for pound, the NFC was far inferior to the AFC this year. Absolutely give me the Rams plus the 2.5. Sean McVay having a great game plan ready for the Vikings. I touched on it there. Some great matchups next week. If the games I picked hold true. If Chargers win, they will be at Kansas City. You love that AFC West matchup with the Harbaugh now coaching the Chargers. You know he's going to that's a beautiful head coaching matchup with Jim Harbaugh versus Fat Andy the Walrus Reid next week if the Chargers take care of business. And, of course, as I mentioned, Ravens take care of business. They'll be at the Bills next week. Good night, as Ski Mask host would say. That is a barn fucking burner, and people don't even have barns that much anymore. But if they do have a barn, they will burn it down. The Ravens take care of business and have that game against the Bills next week. Now, if Green Bay goes against what I said, and if Green Bay beats the Eagles, if the Green Bay upsets the Eagles, great matchup next week. One of the ones you usually see on Thanksgiving. You'll have Green Bay at Detroit next week. That would be a fun one. I think the Eagles take care of business. Too much talent on that offense, frankly, of Philly to lose. If they do lose this first round, expect heads to roll, and by heads to roll, I mean Nick Sirianni to roll down Kensington Street of Philly late next week. That said, fun matchup it could be if they do lose with Green Bay. Lions. Oh, boy, I did it again. I don't know how I always do it, but I always do it. Not a Clippers site, not a fucking stream sniping site. Not a fucking Stuttering John or Shuley or Steel Toe or Carl or Ray DeVito Insight. None of it. Hour 15 of pure and adult-rated entertainment coming out of my own throat, out of my own life experiences, which nobody apparently can do anymore. Nobody can carry a show on their own. That's what we do at Ski Mask Media. We carry shows on our own, original content. Anybody can do a fucking clip show, you lazy homos. I'm going through the poor people chat. It looks like it's mostly Froggy the Egg completely losing his mind talking to himself, but I'll give it an honest go. Thank you for racking me. Da da la da da la da la da 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 la da 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 la da da ba da la ba ba la da da la 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 da da la da da la da da. This is what I hear in my head when I read. I'm just scrolling through the poor people chat. You're welcome, Dr. Chow. You're welcome. Pick the Rams. He said that before I picked them. Fuck the Bills Mafia. Froggy finally said something worth putting on the screen. Absolutely correct. The lowest of the lows. Lowest of the low. The only thing lower would be moving to Austin to do comedy. By the way, how does Kim Condon still get on stages? Wow. Talk about sucking your way to the top. Nandalorian, a.k.a. Julio. Stancil, what should I do? Oh, talk about the L.A. fires? Also, Stancil, start talking about the L.A. fires. Well, I talked to myself. I got myself going there, didn't I? Froggy the Egg actually knows about stuff. This show needs Juggy. He does. You know, I always, every time right before I start the show, when I set up the stream, I'm like, I basically tell I'll send the link to Courtney Brooke. I'll send the link to Kelly. I'll send it to Juggy, Victor, Mead. And then when I get to the point of starting the show, I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. I want to do it on my own. But just because, again, I'm at an hour 20 basically. And I just talked about stuff I wanted to talk about. It's more of I don't want to, spoil the guests, make them come here and then have me just talk the whole time. I think the Juggies and the Victors and all those, they'll be for post-football season. Or maybe, in the coming weeks when, we're down to a handful of games a weekend rather than a full slate. Maybe I'll start bringing the co-host back. That's when Courtney Brooke came around, during the Mets season. Kelly, usually comes around, in the off season of the NFL. So post-NFL season, even in the next coming weeks, keep an eye out. I'll bring the guests back. But I honestly have plenty of people who ask me every week if they can come on. But again, I'm not a sellout. I don't look for the easy way out like all these other shows who succumb to stream sniping and talking about other people's shows. That's not content, in my opinion, nor enjoyable if your show is talking about other people's shows. We did it originally almost tongue-in-cheek about MLC with Ski Mask Collective, but we were the original ones to do it. Now it seems like everybody's show is just talking about other people's show. Anywho, louder. Anywho, I'm going to get evicted. I talked to NCAA at the top of the show. Dr. Chow says he's doing any NCAA. If you tuned in late, I did talk about the game last night at the top of the show. Froggy the Egg, thank you. Did your Jew commissioner pay you yet? He is a Gentile, and I did get my $500 earlier this week, and I put in the chat. I put in our group chat after last week's show. I said on Sports Mask today, I'm going to dox you next week if I'm not paid. Sure enough. So you're welcome, everyone. Thank you for reminding me, Froggy, you fucking nut job. You're welcome to everyone. Thank you, everyone, because I Obviously, the commissioner is terrified of you people. Luis J. Gomez, total sellout. I mean, again, this is really more for sports, the Ski Mask Collective show. I ranted about it last week, and I even ranted about it a little bit at the top of this show. But yes, Lewis makes a big thing. He talks about it on his show and even tweeted about how he's not interacting with trolls anymore, and he's not even interacting with people on X as much at all anymore. And then he still wants people to like his tweets and interact with his tweets. Get fucked, dude. I'm a man of the people. There's plenty of comics who are men of the people, who are big, who never had to put out these gay statements. Either fucking be online or not. And now you want people to come to my show and positive. What was his last tweet? I really saved this for Ski Mask, for SMC, but fuck it. We're here. And I'm sure I'll talk about this again on SMC whenever we do it. This is kind of a bonus for you fine folks. But what was the tweet today that got me going? And I commented on it, obviously, and it's got tons and tons of likes. This is a real tweet from Luis J. Gomez from 3 hours ago. In the past year, I've started Story Wars, The Regs, my own touring company, started writing a new special, a book, and I'm launching a physical product. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm sober. It's been a good year. Work makes me happy. Say it with me, folks. Faggot! Faggot! Fag alert, fag alert, fag, 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 fag alert, fag, fag. Wow, the mighty have fallen. Oh, it's just a bit, dude. All right, well, I don't like bits. We do real shit here. I'm glad you're loser Skanks fan. That's the thing about Skanks fans, and again, I like Luis J. Gomez and his podcast. I listen to them almost as maybe the most of all the podcasts, just pound for pound, because Gas Digital puts out a bunch of different shows. But the Legion of Skanks fans, I don't know if you ever ran into them, are actually big fags. They act all like kind of tough in the comments, but like they have that. Here's what I don't like. I don't like people being nice to each other, really. If your thing is being a dick and being degenerates, then be dicks and be degenerates. Don't pretend to be, and then in real life be fucking caring and shit. That's fucking gay. And I know I'm a dinosaur, basically. I know I'm from a previous generation when men were men and, the positivity crap didn't sneak into the comedy world. But that was the whole point of comedy. Comedians were basically miserable people who could only do this because they didn't give themselves a choice, and the fans were even worse. Anywho, brain froggy to egg. All right, I did it. Once again, did way too long. You're all welcome. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. Venmo my account at DaveD23. But just join the Patreon, $3. Tons and tons of content there. Put it on the background while you watch the football. $3 gets you everything. We're not here to drain your wallets. Even of all these people, we really should be the ones draining your wallets. But we have morals. We have pride. And we're not going to sell out like all these other shit shows. Anywho, again, R.I.P. to your family. R.I.P. to all your friends. Enjoy the football. I will see you next week. Keep an eye on Ski Mask Media. I may go live. We'll almost definitely have a Ski Mask Collective this weekend, and I'll probably be live on the YouTube from New York City tomorrow at some point. There's a teaser. Count all the troops. Let the fires burn, and